Hi everybody. Welcome back to the channel. I am doing another one today. Yay video number 3. So, not sure where I'm going to start today. Let's just kind of take it as it comes. Yes, I am sitting in front of my Christmas tree and it is almost Valentine's Day. Life kind of just gets to us, and things happen and we get behind, right? We get behind on all the things we mean to do and we give ourselves grace. And right now, I am refusing to climb into the attic and get all the Christmas bins down to put everything away. And I have decided to give myself grace and do it another day. So, merry belated Christmas to everybody and happy almost Valentine's Day. Today, I think what I want to talk about is being present in the face of all the to-dos. And I guess that's where I am headed with this one. I think when our to-do list just piles on and it piles on and it piles on, we can be so hard on ourselves. I know that I am ridiculously hard on myself. Um, I make this ever running to-do list in my head of all the things that I need to do in a day. And I have terrible insomnia and I stay up till, all hours of the night, or I wake up in the middle of the night and can't go back to sleep because I'm just thinking about all these things that I haven't done or that I need to do or that I should have done or that I wish I would have done. And I keep getting card after card after card reminding me that it's more important to be present. Um, and choice feeds fate. And here I am recording this video instead of being present, instead of doing things that I need to do to take care of myself and my family. So it's going to be a short one because I do need to get back to being present with myself and my family. Tea first. I am going off of these lovely little cards right here. They're just absolutely gorgeous. I love these oracle cards. Just every one of them is so, so beautiful. And the ones that I'm talking about are just, the artwork on them is spectacular. And, I just get the same beautiful reminders every day. And some of my favorites are tea first. And, this is one of my favorites. Faith transcends, just really beautiful reminders about how to live your life and what you're choosing to focus on as you live your life. And I think those are really, really beautiful reminders. So again, that's what they are. And they're little, tiny, here's my palm, really good for like carrying with you if you want to carry them in your bag or something if you're going to travel. But anyways, yeah, I just want to talk about really being intentional about how you spend your time, focusing on not only nurturing your vessel, taking care of yourself, eating right. The doctors love to tell you to eat right and exercise. Like that's so easy, especially if you have a chronic illness. That's their favorite thing to say, right? Just get up, make it easy, eat right. You know, no big deal. It's so easy. And it's not always that easy, right? Especially if we don't feel good, especially if we have too much on our plate, especially if, we have a hard time putting ourselves first. Um, but we got to remember that if we don't fill our cup up, we have nothing left to give to others. So we got to fill our cup first. And that's one of the biggest lessons that I'm learning right now is how to fill my cup. And I'm relearning what that looks like on a daily basis and moment by moment, taking that time to get a cup of tea to calm my nervous system in the afternoon when I'm getting overstimulated, or um, take a break and walk outside and watch the birds fly around and feel the wind on my face and really take time to take a breath and recenter myself, or make the choice to eat something a little healthier because don't get me wrong, I love bread and pasta, and I have a terrible habit of eating anything quick and easy. Um, or forgetting to eat and settling for a protein shake because that's all I feel like eating, especially if I'm emotional. I just don't have an appetite. So um especially you guys with chronic illness, I was diagnosed with gastroparesis many years ago, and the worse I feel, the less I want to eat. And it's a common myth that if you have gastroparesis that you lose all this weight and you're super skinny. Well, guess what? Not everybody with gastroparesis is skinny. um, there is a whole collective of us that are overweight, and there's science behind that. My body got down to 80 pounds. I was horribly malnourished, and my body started packing on the weight as I guess survival, packing on that fat to survive when it could get it. Um, and now I'm overweight, and so I kind of forget that my body still needs the healthy nourishment, because I don't feel like I'm hungry all the time. My stomach has food in it that is not digesting, and I don't feel hungry. So, little reminders to help us take care of ourselves, whether it's sticky notes or alarms you set on your phone, or just gentle reminders you give yourself, um, or, even asking the kids, like, hey, remind mommy to take a water break. Let's take water breaks together, um, just anything you can do to really reflect on what you need. Um, so yeah, that's my journey right now, is taking care of myself and trying to remember that I got to fill my cup, and that is physical and emotional and spiritual, because I'm learning that that has to do with my emotions too, right? So not just physical health. For a lot of years, I buried my emotions and I ignored them, and I kind of downplayed what I felt to make other people happy, to make sure that I kept other people happy, right? So I didn't really pay attention to what I felt, or I ignored what I felt. And so now self care has a lot to do. Sorry about the extra background noise there. Um, the self care has a lot to do with honoring my own emotions and validating them, um, before I give to others, right? So, validating my own emotions, journaling, giving space, holding space for my own emotions before I hold space for others. Not in a selfish way, not in a conceited way, but in a self care way, a self um, honoring way, because we're all worthy, right? We're all worthy to hold that space. And sometimes when others don't hold space for us, we got to remember that it starts with us, right? We got to hold space for ourselves before we can expect others to even care that we're here holding space, right? So it starts with us. And then spiritually, I've really woken up to my spiritual side, and I really started honoring that spiritual side. And I'm really grateful for that because I was missing it for a long time. And it was really painful without it. And I think, however you choose to honor that, whether it's following what your family's footsteps are, and that gives you comfort, or whether it's going out on your own. You know, my family was really Christian based, and I loved that, but I also felt this pull towards, um, more. I kind of went different directions, right? I had interest in witchcraft, and I had interest in Old Norse, and I had interest in, Celtic and Druids, and more um, just indigenous, and like, Sky Father. And I went so many different directions and just exploring all of these things and trying to figure out what I was comfortable with. And there's so much stigma, and I was so scared to explore for so long, and I didn't let myself, right? Because my family was very, how I was raised was very like, this is the path you will go down, this is what is accepted, right? And a lot of people are, right? Teach what you know. um and I always just felt like there was more. I always felt like there had to be, um I just felt like there was truth in a lot of different religions. Like, every religion has its own nugget of truth, and I wanted to explore them all. Um, and so now I have built my own spiritual practices and my own rituals out of, a tidbit from here and a tidbit from there. And now I've found this home within myself of what makes me feel alive and what makes me feel happy and what really resonates inside my soul. Um, and I've never been happier spiritually. I've never been happier. Um, and I've never felt more spiritually connected to God and the entire universe, just knowing that I have all that support from my ancestors and the angels. And honestly, it's what opened me up to it, because I think when I was brave enough to explore those things and like love myself enough to say it's okay for who you are, it's okay for what you feel, it's okay to go do what makes you happy, go explore what makes you happy, that's when I felt the universe connect with me and say, darn right it is. You go, girl. Um, and that's when that connection really came of life for me. So I encourage all of you guys to really explore what makes you happy, explore what's in your heart, explore what your soul is pulling you towards. And if you're like me, you'll never regret it. Because it's the best feeling in the world to finally just honor your own soul and stop listening to all the naysayers and everyone trying to like squish you in a box. Because you weren't born to be in a box. You were born to just thrive and shine that light, and um, really just expand beyond the box. So, self love, self care, being present. The more you're present in this moment, the more you're honoring your soul, the more you're being who you're meant to be. That's what's special. And I hope if this resonated with you, that you'll give it a like or subscribe to the channel, or both. I can't wait to hear from everybody in the comments and everything. All of that connection really means a lot to me, and I can't wait to see the community that's blooming. And I hope you guys have a great rest of the day. Um, I hope you guys just continue to be love, shine bright, and as always, stay magical.